Hello. Hey everyone, I'm just quickly setting everything up here. Welcome to the stream. Let's tell the Discord that we are live as well. Are live. We are live. Okay. Discord is also done. Also done. Done. And then let's share it on IG, and then I'm done with this. Hey everyone. How do I do that? Let's do it like this. Hey everyone, how's it going? Is the chat box live? We have like 10 viewers, but I don't see the chat. What's going on? No technology. Can anyone type a word just to see if the chat is on? Highly appreciate it. Can literally just type word. I'm quickly posting the thingy on socials. Hi. Okay, chat is live. Thank you so much. Hey Zach. Hey Wally. Hey Moon and Helvetica. How's it going? How are you doing? Technology. So for everyone who's new to the stream, how I like doing it is basically I don't like to put on music because everyone has a different music taste. Also, I always get striked because of my music. So I just keep it quiet with my microphone. So you basically just hear my voice and you can put on whatever music you want or movie, or actually at the moment I'm kind of like listening to Pirates of the Caribbean. Hi Parish, how's it going? How are you doing? Are you looking forward to summer class? I actually can zoom out a bit for this piece. So that you folks are seeing the full thing a bit better. No, that's my interface. I never get this right. There you go. I mean, it's a bit angled, right? But I'm basically working on the top right corner. It's almost done, basically doing everything here. Everything on the right side, top right side. And then this is done. I have to go a little bit over here, some areas, kind of like there are little few things I want to add. But mostly I'm basically have one more here and one thing here, and then this biggie's done. And we already have orders in the print store, because today we are also kind of like celebrating the print store's life, which makes me really happy because for many reasons I wanted to kind of like bring my prints to like everyone who's supporting, but also kind of like everyone who was asking for it. And I chose to not do print on demand for many reasons, mainly quality and customer service. But on the flip side, making your own print store is obviously a task which requires work, preparation, time, etc. So it took us, and I'm saying us because my girlfriend and Paul, who's also working with me together on everything for a while, we are worked together on this to getting this done. Um, and that was really important for me because I needed their input, but also we tried different prints, different paper. I have like tons of like raw prints, kind of like of these rolls. I have so many of them, and actually some really cool ones also. It's like the bigger poster. We tried different formats because we weren't sure if we want to do posters and whatnot. So first we going to go for A3 size prints mostly, because it's, first of all, if you stick with one format, is much easier in the beginning, and yeah, and it also, it's a bit easier to handle in terms of like management and whatnot. And this one here will be also in a print store, and it also is already ordered by some people, which made me really happy. Not only that, it kind of like tells me that this piece is good enough to get it as a print, but also that it also made me really happy because it kind of like supports everything, because the way we print the prints is pretty expensive compared to what you could do, because we really wanted to go for quality, so that there is like a high quality in these prints. I can actually show you one. I have one here. So basically this is one of the digital ones. These are pretty nice. I don't know if it's better to show here. Hey, here's better actually. So basically these are some of the digital pieces, and framed, they look really nice. I was actually kind of like unsure in the beginning, but again, I'm very thankful for the people in my life who kind of like encouraged me to make these prints, because I really was not so confident in printing my art. So yeah, the print store is live. We have a pre-order phase at the moment until the 15th of June. So every pre-order until the 15th of June will get a personalized ink drawing by me. So basically there is a note section when you buy the print. You can write in whatever, but you don't have to write anything. So I will surprise you with a drawing basically. And it will be a A4 size print, A4 size drawing, kind of like this size. So kind of like this size basically. And I don't know if you can kind of like can see this. Yes, kind of like this size. So it's also really nice Hanemühle paper. So if you want that, you can also frame it. Yeah, and today I will work on the top right, finish this painting, and getting everything done. Yes, looking forward to summer class. Yes, summer class is starting also on Saturday. That's true. That is true. Who else is here? Price is here. So let me scale this back up here. Whoop. Can also kind of like try to turn this a bit more. Is this? bright enough. Yeah, I think so, right? So let me move this here. So I have to kind of like organize this a bit here. Hey Daniel, how are you doing? Thank you. What do you mean? The streams or? Da, 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 da. Okay, how do I do that? That I basically see the chat. Okay, I think like this is good. So what are you all doing? Actually, I was really surprised when we worked on the print store. I was kind of like going through the analytics of my website, and I was really surprised about the big mix of countries we had, like so many different countries. People would kind of like come and go and watch the stuff, and it was really mind blowing to see that people would kind of like go on Art Zone, come from across the world. Okay. This could mouse carpet. Okay, I haven't thought about a mouse carpet. So I hope this is here not too small for you folks to see, because it's a bit unfortunate because it's kind of like top right corner, right? But I do my best that you guys see something. Okay, dun, dun, dun. Actually, that's the wrong pen. Hey Boris, how's it going? How are you doing? What's up, Boris? What's up in the world of Boris? Okay, I want to make sure that I get the overlap right. Hey Murat, how's it going? Have you seen my voice messages? I haven't checked my phone yet again. But I think so, right? Question. How hard is it to start? Sorry, let me move this over here. Du- 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 du. How hard is it to start taking gigs as concept artist? As my career counselor told me, I need to start as an illustrator. That's how most artists start, then move up the ladder to role. Well, um, I wouldn't say that because I never got hired as an illustrator. I always got hired as a concept artist. So I would say that the information your counselor has is not really technically correct. So first of all, it depends on if you're going to freelance or if you're going into studio. Um, so that's the first big thing, so to speak. And then because if you go into a studio, there are job boards where they're basically going to write, okay, this is what we're looking for, this is what you apply for. So if you go for a concept art position and you have illustrations, for example, it's kind of like counterintuitive. So yeah, first of all, that's the biggest point. And then, so basically, what you have in your portfolio needs to show that you're a concept artist. So designs, for example, not only paintings. Painting is just the end of the product or basically the end of the portfolio project. But we will talk a lot and practice a lot about that in the summer class prior. So I will show you everything in there. Um, and how hard is it? Well, I mean, I think a lot of people have, because I have this conversation pretty often with the students, that of course there are certain things like doubts of will I perform, will I underperform, what happens when. At the end, if they hire you and you know what you can do, which I believe is the most important thing about, you just need to know what you can do, right? If you obviously have trouble on creating certain things, designing things, you most probably won't get the job, right? There are exceptions, but most probably you won't. And if you can't and you get hired, you won't survive very long because there's also this 6 month of trial period where the company basically has like a security system to see, okay, can you deliver, and they have to use it, and it also makes sense for everyone who owns a company. um, but you shouldn't be afraid, you shouldn't be um, like making yourself crazy about it, because if you have a portfolio and you created that portfolio and you know what you can do, you know your design skills, you know your methods, how you solve problems, especially how you craft ideas, how you develop these ideas. I think also most people forget that when they have a portfolio, that when they come into a studio, there is an art director. There's someone who is art directing you, right? So you are basically not making the decisions. The art director is making the decisions if you have a good one. And also in terms of source of ideas, most studios have writing departments, or they have like someone who wrote stories. So you basically get everything on a plate. All you have to do, you have to eat the food, so to speak, right? So that's definitely most things. So I think it's, yeah, I know it's a big mysterium for a lot of people. And it's also very holy for a lot of people, because still working as a concept artist in games or in movies is a really cool job. There's nothing to talk about. That's really like it's really one of the coolest jobs. But at the end, it's still a job. Looks kind of Kim Young-ji-esque. Yeah, he's probably spiritual, wise, and his soul is a bit in there. By the way, hi Slop, John B. Sloop John B. Is that a wordplay? John B. Yeah, I hope that answered your question. Okay. What do I do here? Okay. Do you have reference images, or is it just imagination? So it's a bit of both. So I have some images of me posing, which I definitely will not share because it's embarrassing. Um, but yeah, I basically started the lower left corner, and then because I do everything directly in ink, um, I took some references in for specific poses, basically. For example, the one here on the left one with the sword backwards, so to speak. So the one that were really important, but most them are kind of like a mix of uh, imagination, so to speak. And the first, I think after Samurai number 5, I kind of like knew the pattern and everything, so I have much more confidence. Also, these guys are much faster now since in the beginning. I think in the beginning, one of them took me 2 hours, because I don't know if you guys understand, like doing that without any prep drawing, I start to sweat immediately. So it's kind of like every samurai I draw, I died a little bit, because it's kind of like, so it kind of like really made me like I lost at least like 2 liters of sweat every time I draw on this big one, because in the beginning you kind of like, I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to make a mistake. But if you focus too much on the obstacle, you hit the obstacle, right? So eventually, I just kind of like try to let go, and yeah, that's basically how that went. And it's also A2 size, so it's pretty big. So one of these is kind of like as big as my hand, and I have L size large hands. So How long did you drawing this? In total work time. So you also need to know that sometimes I actually don't draw. I just sit and look at this and think about where do I want what, because I kind of like wanna have everything still on a nice graphical read, even though they overlap and they have like a good rhythm and a good flow going through the image. So sometimes I just sit here and I'm just looking at it and kind of think about, okay, what do I want to make black? Where do I want to show a face? Where do I want to have a mask? Where do I let the swords go? By the way, the sword blades with a brush pen, they were killing me. That was the most biggest, hardest thing, especially drawing it on an easel, like in an angle, like here. It really killed me. Like ghosting the line like 50 times until I made a stroke, and so eventually I took them off and kind of like drew on top, you know. But in total, I mean, I can actually check when I started with this. Um, when did I start with this? Uh, so I think I started mid-April on working on this. Mid of April. What do we have today? Third of what do we have today? 3rd of June, right? So basically I drew on and off between mentorship calls, between teaching and everything else. But in pure drawing time, because it's so hard to calculate, because again, sometimes I was just sitting here for an hour thinking about what to place what, because it's my first image like this and I really wanted to make it really good. So I maybe I overthought a bit too much at some point. But yeah, at least a week in total work time, like pure work time. So kind of like 30 to 40 hours at least, I would say. Kind of like that. I don't know if that's slow or fast. I don't care. It's for me the quality was the most important thing. I wanted to draw something that like someone would kind of like to hang in their living room or something, you know. But also having fun with this. Loved your video, especially what to draw when no idea. Oh, thank you, DS. Um, that's actually nice from you saying that, because I felt like this video wasn't so successful. I don't know. It's also hard to judge when it doesn't have much clicks if it's a good or bad video, because apparently it's maybe not so interesting for majority, right? So it doesn't make the video better or worse. But it's nice that you say that. So thank you. Okay, let's do this here. But what do you think about imitation, like copying other artists? Um, well, I think that it was always a big part of the art history, you know. So artists were always copying artists, or people were copying people, so to speak, because this is how we learn. by imitating, right? And I think most artists learn that way. So at some point, it is a absolute natural process of the art evolution. And I think it will be still in the next few years. But I think that it's just important that you figure out, how do I say that, when to make the cut, you know? So for example, as you maybe can guess, I looked at a lot of Kim Young-ji drawings, right? And how Kim Young-ji did these ink drawings, and seeing him live and everything, like that had a huge impact on me. And that is great. And I'm thankful for that. And I hope that a little bit of his soul will live and continue in my artwork. But that's it, right? I don't want to be like a copy of him. But I also understand it takes time. Since I just started with art 10 years ago, it takes time to develop a personal style or a personal thing. So I think it's just important that you figure out where do you get your information, maybe when you have problem to solve, to figure out, okay, how does that artist XYZ that you liked would solve certain problems, then I think then it's good. So in order to learn in the beginning, that's absolutely okay if you ask me. But it's at some point you have to you just have to make a cut at some point. No, so how do I do this here? Maybe I just blacken that out. Do you have any experience in watercolor? First of all, hi, Filter Papier, awesome name, by the way. Um, I really admire when people have so creative names. I do, but not. I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say to a high professional skill level. So it's not the way in Photoshop, you know. If yeah, so there is still a lot of room and a lot of things I can learn with it. I have experience, but I think it would take some time to get used to it. Hi, tomorrow I will start following your video on head construction. I hope to improve. Okay, awesome, Daida, and welcome to stream, by the way. How hard is it to switch focus from this difficult drawing to chat constantly? Does it make you nervous? Dude, I'm sweating my ass off here. Excuse my language, but I mean, nervous, I don't know. I mean, not nervous, but yeah. I think it's since doing YouTube for a while and streams and whatever, it's I think that's okay. Also, I chose the easy areas for the stream. I would never choose something difficult or something like what I would not do anymore, Murat, is design streams, I think, where I stream live designing. Because as you know, especially designing takes a lot of brain power, and chatting and answering questions while doing that. I would not do that. By the way, talking about design, we still have 2 slots open for summer class, which starts on Saturday. So if you want to join summer class, check out the read more section on the website. If you're a student, you also get a €100 discount, and this will be awesome. We have already a lot of people joining, and we're going to have individual phase. We're going to have team projects where people work together on portfolio projects as a team, which is a cool way to not only improve over summer, but also have a lot of fun and make some friends. Your video on how to draw faces helped me a lot with drawing faces. It's an amazing video. Thank you so much, Merlin. I really appreciate it. I'm kind of like thinking about the next one, the next video to come. Okay, great. I started drawing this year, and after my Abitur, I'm looking forward of becoming an art teacher. Wow, yes, nice. Do that. We need more good teachers in this world. Fun fact, when I was in school, I hated 2 things, or 3 things actually. School in general, art classes, and my teachers. And now I'm an art teacher. Go figure. Okay, I have to, how was the pattern? So the interesting part about the samurai armor, sometimes when it's kind of like turned in perspective, I have to triple ensure that I don't mess this up. Sorry guys, I have to focus for a second here. Um, how about video on how to not draw ugly? Well, I think I'm the wrong person for that. You become what you hate, lol. Yeah, or maybe I became that thing I wish I would have had when I was younger. And now I'm basically that, yes. Because I wish I would have started with art earlier in my life, but no one really introduced me into it the way it should be. I mean, if I think about my art classes, even my teacher was bored about that. So he always gave us a task and then he went for a smoke. Like, what does that teaches a teenager? So maybe he was also the wrong guy for the job, but that doesn't tell me art is exciting as it actually is, right? So yeah. Just 1 second. I see this. The chat is popping. I just quickly need to finish this here. Most art teachers in school are not so good. Yes, yes. I also wonder how that comes. Who's your inspiration in art? Mobius, Kim Young-ji, and my friends also. They really inspire me. My art friends. Also my students a lot at the recent days. My mentorship students. They really, that's so cool when you kind of like think about, you show them how to build a project and then they start to build these really cool things. It kind of like makes me want to go to the drawing board and do my own projects again. But at the moment, I don't have time for it. Is there a reason that your art session includes only 6 artworks, not more? These seem posted a while ago. Yeah, there's definitely a reason for it. So, first of all, I did not look for a job for, I don't know, very long time. So there was no reason for, there was actually no reason for updating it. Also, I never got a job over ArtStation. So that's another reason I don't need to post on ArtStation, because there's literally no real benefit for me at the moment. And if I would apply for a studio, then I maybe would update it, but I always do PDFs, so portfolio PDFs, which I send out. So yeah, because I find them they are a bit better for showcasing your work, because you can control how things are layouted and stuff. So, but this is also something I will show you, Braish. There's also a lot of art I made the last 6 or 7 years in production, which I never posted anywhere because it's production work and it's actually work I don't want to do anymore. So I only put stuff in my portfolio which I technically would like do for others. But again, I don't have an updated portfolio at the moment, I need to say. I basically do mostly traditional at the moment. Excuse me. I think also 2 years or 3 years ago, I took out a lot of stuff out of my ArtStation. I think I had like 30 posts or something. What are your thoughts on Loomis method? It's good to learn in the beginning. It's not good to really, it's not really a ultimate solution or method. I understand that institutions or studios or ateliers still teach it, and that's okay. That's good for people who start to learn. But I think ultimately it's not a good method, because also you have to figure out if it's really the method that works for you, because it's kind of like drawing by numbers, you know. The problem is you learn that method and it's pretty hard to apply that method to the different types of heads. So it's so contrary, because you basically learn a method to construct a head schematically, but the most unique and different thing in the world is the human form, the human face and the human head. So yeah, it makes sense that we have this, but it's not the best solution. I think the best way is to be able to draw. I think the most important thing to really learn is to draw things out of your imagination, because it's also showing what it's kind of like going hand in hand with your style, it will kind of like crystallize out what is it that you like drawing, right? Because like drawing a head or drawing a face, you have so many different ways of doing that, different indications, type of eyes, edginess, lines you choose. There's so many things you can do. What do you think about it? Filterpapier. I started learning the anatomy of the skull and didn't pay attention to the method, but I sucked at drawing like eyes and mouth. Yeah, just take it apart. Take it apart and just do it step by step is a good approach. You know how Mark Twain said? How to manage complex tasks by breaking them apart and start with the first one. Taking it a long time. Also, before I forgot, we have now also a channel membership if anyone is interested in it. So basically, what do we have on channel membership? So you have preview, you have extra video footage, you have brushes, digital wallpapers, PDFs and sheets and everything that comes also. I'm also still doing a PDF for the how to draw faces episode. So I was pretty busy with the print store, but I also will put it in there for the YouTube members. It was really about time of making that. Oh. Mm, 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 mm. So again, yeah. No, okay. I have to be careful with the sword here. What's a good way to practice with the brush pen? I think the best way is just doing a lot of drawings. Because brush pen is really, it's really something where you have to master the control first, you know, so you have to master to how to control the brush pen first. And also ink flow, and if you're heavy-handed, even more. Yeah, and I would say just like try not to draw too small, because if you draw small, the range of fuck up is too big. So yeah, I would kind of like try to draw. Yeah, I don't know, maybe like I think A4 size is a good size, because then if you even go a bit heavier at some point, then it's kind of like it's not a big issue. And then really figuring out how you want to draw. If you kind of like want to have the little finger on it, if you're someone who have sweaty hands all the time, then you have to probably do it like I do with the paper, you know, like putting your paper on top, to not smear anything. Yeah, but yeah, I would say I practiced with it for a year until I really got a good feeling for it. And I still do not got a good feeling because I'm very heavy-handed. Do you use your shoulder for drawing? At the moment, yes. And also depends on what I do. If I do straight lines or whatever, I try to draw with my arm, so with my elbow, so to speak. I mean, when you say shoulder, you mean like really using full shoulder, right? I don't know. Partially, I don't know. DS, did you change your name to Divanesh? Divanesh? Divan, the Devianish? No, Devianch? How do I say that? I wonder, do you folks actually see that properly? I wonder if I should, can I move this a bit outwards more? I feel like it's so up in the corner that you don't see anything. What if I scale a bit like this? Divianish. Divianish. Okay, cool. Mhm. Are there any good art books to learn like anatomy you would recommend? Um, for anatomy. So to be honest, for anatomy, it's really, really hard to dissect what is actually good or practical. So I like the Stonehouse anatomy book. I'm actually using it to have like a stopper for my easel at the moment, so I can't put it in the camera. But just Google Stonehouse anatomy book. It's a bit pricier, but there's basically everything written, and it's also kind of like a bio book, but it's kind of like funny made, so it's well explained. Um, and then I have also Atlas of Anatomy. It's also a good book. But eventually, what you have to do, you have to sit down once or twice, drawing bone structure, skeletal structure, to just to learn it and to get it in. And then you don't need that anymore. Then you can kind of like, if you understand the ratio, proportions, what's possible in terms of range of motion, from that point on, you can kind of like do whatever you want. Do you normally listen to anything like podcasts or music while working? Hi Jay, by the way. Yes, I do. At the moment, I listen to Jamiroquai and podcasts not so often because sometimes the talking of others kind of like annoys me while working. So kind of like when argues get heated, or when there's a topic or something. Um, oh yeah, something like that. So I rather go for a fantasy movie which I've seen 1,000 times, so I can just put it in the back. Or silence. I also like to sit here like a psychopath, completely silence. But I also live in Berlin, so there's at least one emergency car coming by every 20 minutes. So you never get complete silence. How about you? I mean, Bridgman is the same. Bridgman is good to learn, but again, it's the same thing with the schematic approach of drawing anatomy as Loomis. So it's good to a certain degree. Definitely worth looking at it. There's also a PDF you can download. Illegal. You don't have it from me. Is Berlin expensive to live? So rent went up like everywhere in the world. I think it's still pretty much affordable in a way that you have areas where you can get food pricey, but it's not cheap. It's not cheap and it's not 100% expensive. So it's not like Munich or Cologne or even like Basel or something. Like it is still okay-ish. I'm not rich. Please don't spread any wrong rumors, bro. I mean, it's also how you define rich, right? Rich in experiences. Rich in love. That's all you need. Everything else is just materialistic. I'm trying to get through the Bridgman hands. It's a challenge. Rich in triceps and lats. Yes. I mean, I could have more triceps if you ask me, but my lats pretty okayish. I think that's the only benefit of having long arms. The lat is growing fast. Have you ever been to the Saarland? Have I been to Saarland? No, I think I don't. Why? Because of price? Do you live there? Where's my water? The fuck? Do you fear from starting drawing in the new sketchbook? Never. No, I'm actually over that. So, as a lot of other artists, I had this also for a while. And I solved it by starting from the back. But then I realized whenever I show someone the sketchbook and they go through it, it's kind of like reverse quality, which is kind of like fucked up, if you ask me. I kind of like want to see a progression quality, so it makes it more exciting to go through rather than it goes worse. So it's not the smartest decision. But these days I really don't care. Actually, like drawing in a sketchbook becomes really my meditation, which really is just by excuse me, it's just by sitting in a cafe and just doodling random shit, you know. So really random stuff. Um, Sometimes drawing stuff in the cafe, and I'm always kind of like comfort zoning, you know. So I never really fear about starting with it. Also, there's a good saying: the next drawing is always the best. So that kind of like makes this thing of having a sketchbook even more important. Hey Defaulty, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Hey Rufus, how's it going? Hey, just finishing reading through Tom Fox Anatomy. Have you read it? No, I have not read it. I've looked at some of I've looked at some of the things Tom Fox did in his book. I actually saw his book in Korea laying around, which was also interesting. But then I stumbled over the Stonehouse Anatomy, and I felt this was much more. Yeah, how do I say that? It was just more condensed in information, I would say. Like Tom Fox anatomy book is that, but also that has nothing to do with Tom Fox or like his work in his like in the quality of what he's displaying. It's more about I find that anatomy books in itself is really tough to say this is a good book or this is a bad book or this is because um, first of all learning anatomy from books, I don't know how's it for you, but I've never really could learn that much from books, especially from anatomy. So the most I've learned anatomy wise was actually from a doctor's anatomy book where I had real anatomy when I would had to understand how tissue is connected, how bones are connected. So that is really like how where I learned the most, rather than like a book for artists how to draw anatomy. So that's why I find it so hard to figure out if it's a good or bad book, you know. Do you do live sketching? Can you specify the question a bit more? What do you mean specifically with live sketching? I would love to go in a cafe and sketch there, but I think there's too much pressure drawing good because others are watching. The thing is, it's a misconception, Filterpapier. People do not really watch. It is more that you watch them than they watch you, you know? Because eventually most people they have like a cone of vision or a cone of light just around themselves, and maybe one or two people, but most people they mostly just care about themselves. They're just interested when they think you draw them, you know. But even if so, even if someone would come by and look, you shouldn't care, right? Because you don't draw for them, you draw for yourself. So yeah, just take it as relaxation. I know it's easier said than done, but that's important. It's important that this stuff is not hindering you from becoming the artist you want to be. That is more important. Okay, how do I do the backside here? Which help you more, live sketching or books? You mean of drawing anatomy? It's another thing. I mean, I would say if I would where I learned the most, wow, that's a really tough question. Because I went to a lot of live drawings, figure drawings. where I learn things, but I think I actually learned the most while I was sitting here at my desk trying to draw the things for myself, and especially through the repetition of quality, or like trying to do quality drawings repeatedly. So that's where I learned the most. And actually not really looking in books, only if I don't have a clue how something looks. So if you maybe have seen one of the, I have this how to draw the figure with the drawing plan on YouTube, where I also speak about the approach of doing like a week of bone drawings, for example. But yeah, again, I find it's a really, really difficult thing to do. The most intensive anatomy lesson I had was the Wilpu classes, but afterwards you have to focus on learning about design, otherwise the drawings will be really stiff. Yeah, and also it's always like I do agree on that, and I really like how Glenn Wilpu is teaching, but again, these are all schematic ways of teaching these things. In order to know how to use it for yourself, because everyone, I feel like everyone I've met, um, also Murat, for example, or all of my other friends who draw figures, everyone has a different way of seeing the figure and drawing the figure and understanding the figure. And I think it's more important that you find that way for yourself how to learn that. Should you learn from expert at a certain subject like Andrew Loomis or journalists that teach a bit everything like Mark Brunet? Um, who is Mark Brunet again? Sorry, I don't know who Mark Brunet is at the moment. Yeah, again, I mean, in the beginning, Andrew Loomis is, I think, Bridgman, and like, don't get me wrong, all this, what they do and all they done is great in the beginning. I did it myself. I did Proco classes. I went through the books. I want to say PDFs, but of course I mean the books. I went through the books uh, and looked at all that stuff and tried to learn from it. I looked at Bern Hogarth also. I did live drawing classes where I went there with the model. In my university, we had classes also with very long poses. But eventually, I would say the most stuff I've learned by sitting on my couch with my big A4 size sketchbook, just drawing the figure out of my head over and over and over. Because every time I draw the figure without a reference a year ago, without a reference out of my head, it sucked. It looked shit. It really looked bad. And that just indicates me there's something I don't know. There's something I don't understand 100%. And if you have that, then all the information of every freaking anatomy book does not help you if you don't understand what's going on, you know? Because in most cases what I have seen and also learned is that it's a matter of perspective and placement and proportion, and not making a wet noodle and really making an arm, or understanding bending and landmarks and all that stuff. But this all comes by repetition, like really learn a lot. You don't want to over analyze at some point. You just want to draw a lot. That's really important. Yeah. Like my students, they all have to do drawing from imagination in between to see what is really there in your head, you know? And the better you get with this, the better also the drawings from reference or with reference go, because it gets easier at some point. And it's like the hardest resistance training there is. So let me continue here. Let me continue here. Why is my hand blue? I haven't touched any blue ink. Where's the blue ink coming from? This is dangerous. Because I had a blue ink pen exploding a few days ago, and I don't want it on a big one here. Okay. Shock. 50% studies, 50% imagination. That's good. That's a good rule of thumb. Absolutely. What's more important to you, quantity or quality? Quality. Quality, quality, quality. Always quality. It wasn't that way. I really was pushing for quantity a long time. But then, yeah, it was a big learning for me, especially when I tried to get my first job. Even though my first actual job was actually, oh, was it in movie? No, actually, my first job wasn't in a movie. I think that was the third one or something. But I would say when I was in the phase of job applications, I realized that I had to bring much more quality to the table. But it wasn't actually that big of a hurdle eventually, because it just means you have to spend more focused time on one specific thing, you know? So that's why I like this thing here, this big painting or I don't know, drawing, that was also like, it teaches me patience, you know, patience, finishing things, like also mentally preparing me for things. So there's a lot of things I've learned about just, I think also you learn much more about the art you create if you work on something long time. But the problem is, especially for the speed component, um, actually the speed component comes more from a capitalistic standpoint that wait, let me just quickly do this because I just see that I missed something here. it comes from a standpoint where time is money. So eventually, when you do work in a studio or when you work on a product, it has to be delivered, and that time always equals a certain amount of money. So that brings the speed on the table. So I think that's why it's always kind of like miscommunicated for people or new beginners. Also, how it was for me, that uh, speed is so important, but actually the quality is much more important, because you can work as fast as you want, but when the work is mediocre or not good enough, then you won't go anywhere. So first of all, you have to get to a certain amount of quality. Then you have to try to repeat this quality over and over. And quality quantity comes through trying to repeat the highest quality you can do. This is also the way I teach it, and this is the way my students do it. Ba, 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 ba. Are you using reference right now, or is it all from imagination? I do both at the moment. So at the moment, I have an image open from myself holding a broomstick, which I will not share because it's embarrassing. Um, but the armor, so to speak, the samurai armor, I kind of like overlay. But I also have some samurai armor reference I've used in the beginning. It's kind of like a mix of both. Did you study art or did you learn by yourself? I studied industrial design, specifically like studying. Like I have a degree in industrial design, but art itself, so figure drawing or like, I mean, yeah, I would say art because in my industrial design curriculum we didn't do any art. So art on the side I studied myself. I think as a beginner, quality comes from quantity, especially when you're starting. I think as a beginner, quality comes from quantity. You have to explain that. How does quality comes from quantity? So I think we are maybe talking about the a difference in what quality means. I'm talking about best possible quality outcome art that you can produce. I'm not talking about I worked so hard and so much I can tap my shoulder and therefore I made quality. No, I don't mean that. Or maybe you mean something different, Pravesh. Because at the end also I don't want to try to fish in the blue, you know? Hey, how are you doing? How you doing? Ooh, you have a YouTube member badge. Maximum support here. Your badge looks really cool. And your name is green. Wow. By the way, I've seen your message about the print order. So um, my buddy's on it. My buddy's on it on the email notification. Don't know what's going on there. But I have seen your email and everything for the order of the print. So no worries. You get your drawing. And thank you also for the support. The more you draw a subject, the more you become informed and confident in that subject. Okay. Maybe I then misunderstood what you mean with quantity. Do you regret the note yet? No, I don't regret it. Absolutely not. I will draw you the best Madame Kaji there is. Or was it Madame Kaji? I think so, right? Wait. Ja, mit dem Kaji. Yeah, thank you for supporting also. Thank you for buying a print. Oh. That's unfortunate. In Paris or what? I have to change my music, yeah. Dylan. Hey, Chris Maycock. Oh, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Oh, you're on the other side of the ocean. Where are you? Enjoy your vacation. Paris made you soft. Ah, so you're in Brazil, I guess then. Dun, 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 dun. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, Brazil's not for amateurs. I 100% understand what you're saying. Never been there, but I'm 100% aware of what can happen there. Thank you for joining in. Have a good one. Enjoy Brazil. Brazil. Bye bye. Have a good one. Don't get robbed again. Has anyone a recommendation for a good fantasy RPG to play, by the way? I'm watching a lot of Let's Plays recently. I just realized I never played Oblivion, which is kind of like nuts because I played the shit out of Skyrim and Morrowind. And I love Bethesda games, but I never played Oblivion. I don't know how that happened. So maybe I'm considering to play Oblivion. But yeah. If anyone has good recommendations, I'm open for it. I'm not talking about you, Boris. Please don't type in Apex. Baldur's Gate 3 I tried, but it's kind of like not my thing. First of all, I don't like top-down. I don't like round-based. Oh, Gothic 1. I really like you, Filterpapier. I really like you. Gothic 1 I played more than, I don't know. Gothic 1, Gothic 2. I think last year I played at least 120 hours on Gothic 2. Just because. Dragon's Dogma? I saw that there's... is Dragon's Dogma not the... Isn't there a new Dragon's Dogma out? Final Fantasy? Is there Final Fantasy on Steam? Dragon's Dogma 2. How is Dragon's Dogma 2? Because I saw the reviews weren't so good. Bonsai plays Apex. Yeah, you can play with Boris. Returnal is amazing. Okay, Returnal. What is Returnal? Mm-hmm. So that's sci-fi. I mean, it looks sick. The cover gives me Prometheus vibes. Sick. Haven't tried Dogma 2. Ah, okay. Thank you all for the suggestions. For the suggestions. Does it need to be an RPG? Well, I mean, I guess if you have a good recommendation, I'm at least open to it. Why? What do you have in mind? And there's the emergency car. Told you so. Oh, it sounds more like police actually. Policia. Oh, Ghost of Tsushima is something which is on my wish list. That's actually a good one. Um, okay. Have a good one. Have a good school day tomorrow. Thanks for joining, by the way, Filterpapier. Thanks for joining. Hope to see you soon on the next one. I can recommend. I have 400 hours of Elden Ring. Oh, jeez. I think I played Elden Ring on stream, and I died constantly. I never played it like a Dark Soul type of game before. So for me, it was I felt like a grandpa playing these mechanics. So yeah. Also, I couldn't really get into it, like headspace wise. For me, always when I put on Skyrim, I feel being in there, you know, even though I just play for myself. But hey, oh my freaking carpenter muncher, how's it going? Oh, you have a member badge. That's nice. Thanks for the support. Appreciate you. Do you find it easier or harder to draw in silence or with music? Mm, really depends on my mood, I would say. But also, I have misophonia. I think that's the English word. So I am very sensitive to noise and sound. So especially when I go to the supermarket and it's loud and noisy and there are a lot of people, like I kind of like freak out and get aggressive. So it really depends how much I was kind of like how stressed I was sound wise. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's really like the mood. Sometimes I like to Sometimes I feel like Caribic or like I feel like I want to listen to Monkey Island music, and then I just put that on, or I put Pirates of the Caribbean in as a movie, just listening to Jack Sparrow running around, a little bit of the Hans Zimmer music in between. It's awesome. Um, Sometimes in the morning, especially the mornings, if it's a quiet morning here in Berlin and there's not a lot of cars and stuff going on, I love that as well. Just basically hearing like nature sounds or something. That's also awesome. How's it for you? Yeah, Skyrim is definitely a masterpiece. I was a bit disappointed by the Elder Scrolls Online. I played it, but it didn't really get me. I was hoping it would be really become more like really like a Skyrim with people, but it did not. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, yeah, 100% agree. Same with Gothic. You need music all the time. What are you listening to? Mm, mm, mm. By the way, I don't know if I don't want to over promote Print Store's live. The stream today is actually to celebrate Print Store. You can pre-order this one here as well already as a print, even though it's not 100% done yet. We're almost finished. You can order this as a print, but we also have really nice, awesome digital art pieces. Some of my digital works as prints, and every pre-order gets a personalized A4 ink drawing by me as a thank you for support. Would you recommend Morrowind? I do recommend Morrowind. If you can if you can go down on reading a bit more than usual, and if you're down with the graphic, even though there are a lot of mods these days, I 100% can recommend Morrowind. I actually bought Morrowind when it came out as a kid, and then when it came, I realized I can't play it because I didn't understand English because I don't know how old was I? 12 or something. So then later they gave the possibility. So Bethesda offered that you could send it to them for free and they would send you the German version back. And I completely forgot about it. And I think it took like 6 months. And then I was at a friend's house and my mom sent me a message, your game is here. And I did not really know what she was talking about. So I got home and then there was it, Morrowind in German. This was a good day. Good childhood memories. Today's menu is Tool. Oh, during the weekend was Ghosts. What is Ghost? I know Tool, but I don't know Ghost. Okay, I have to continue drawing a bit. Talking too much. Talking too much. Talking too much. I think I can draw this pattern in my sleep now. Would you recommend to buy art books? I don't understand the question. Yes, of course, get art books. If you love the art, get them. Because you will never know if they will be ever printed again and I just bought two. The guy who made Swedish pop metal. Okay, I will check that out later. Thank you for the recommendation. I just bought the art books of the guy who made. Oh, damn it. Vagabond. Inoue Takeshima. Uh, but I bought two art books from Saskia Gutekunst. She's a really great artist, and I know her for a while. So I bought them from her used. So I'm very happy about that. It's kind of like a little birthday gift to myself. Thank you for joining, Merland. I was happy to have you. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you soon again. Appreciate you coming by. Sorry, what would you recommend for digital art in terms of art book? Digital art books. The Spider-Verse one is really nice. Digital. I liked Shadowline by Ian McCaig. No, that's overrated. That's also overrated. The Neon Genesis Evangelion is really nice. It's a bit of an older one, but the art book is really sick. Especially for like simplified character design is really nice. Also, there's a book which is called Creating Stylized Characters. I got from my art director. He bought it for my birthday, I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago. That's also a really good book. The God of War art book is really nice. I really love this one for digital art. But we're not talking about books where you learn from, right? We're talking about just art books, like from productions. Some people do not said it's not worth it. I mean, if you like something, then you like it, or if you're interested, you just tried it. But at the end, like the impulse or the feeling of getting the book at some point must come somewhere. The curiosity. Follow that curiosity. And excuse my language, don't give a shit about what other people say. What are your favorite art books? Ooh, ooh, ooh. My favorite art books. Okay, all right, all right, all right. So let's start with the Mobius collection, I would say. I do not have completed the Mobius collection, but if you just type in Mobius collection, you will find what I mean, especially the ones where there are these analysts and kind of like where they wrote about how he got to the style he was getting there. Since I'm a Mobius fanboy, then the Kim Young Ji books, man. If you don't have the Kim Young Ji books, go get them. Even though they're not technically like production artworks, they're art books for me. So get the Kim Young Ji books. The God of War book is really really nice, really neat. Then the Tetsuya Karada book, the sketch one is really nice. The this one here, which I use it as as a stopper for my ISO, the Claire Wendling one. It is I paid 35 euros for this, and it's so inspiring sometimes, and so cool to just sometimes look at this. If whenever I've like if imagination's not going well, then I'm just kind of like looking at stuff, trying to get inspired. I'm trying to think about what she looked at and thought of when she was doing these drawings. So I can recommend this one as well. I have so many. The Monster Book of Manga is also really sick. Um, but also, I'm a bit old school. So, and the movie Art of Sid Mead, if you're into sci-fi, industrial design, but also like Blade Runner movies and whatnot, this book is, I just read this book so many times. I'm kind of like every time I'm kind of like just going into my books in between. But I'm also like my mom is a painter, so she's a traditional artist, and through her I got introduced through a lot of different type of books about impressionism, Renaissance paintings, um, even like even like church paintings and whatnot. So I have a lot of books about that. So yeah, if you buy used books, I mean, if you buy a book to support an artist, hey, by the way, I have a secret one which probably most of you don't know. I don't know if any of you has this book. Kudos to you. I just found it randomly and I bought it. It's called Hook, and I think it's a guy who does like um, digital paintings, and this is so juicy. He does like portraits and illustrations and whatnot, and this is really inspiring, especially for people who are into digital painting. So and it was super cheap also, like super cheap, 45 bucks. But I think I got it. I think I got it even cheaper. And then I mean I can also, I mean, I'm old school, so I have also like books about Toulouse-Lautrec, for example, like old artists and graphic designers, and I just love this stuff because it's so inspiring to look at and interesting to read about how they got where they got, so to speak. Sorry for me. Like I just get passionate when it comes to art books. Um, oh hi, by the way, Frosty Tango, how are you doing? Did you drew that? What do you mean? The one in front? Yes, I drew. The Art of Mobius. What's up with that? Yeah, I was talking about that. You want to see what I was talking about? Okay, let me get one. I think this one is my favorite. Is that one collection? So there are, if you type on Google collection, Mobius collection, there are a lot of these. I think like 6 or 7, if I'm not mistaken, and they basically have his work in there. But this one, it's called Metallic Chronics. They're also talking about how he got to his style and like basically how his development as an artist was. This was really is really interesting to read, especially when it comes to his line work. Super inspiring. So absolutely recommend that. Da, 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 the art looks really rad. Of Mobius, yes, 100%. He is the shit. Oh yeah. I think it's also like he influenced so many people. It's just insane. And when you think about that, he took so many drugs. Somehow all these famous people, they took so many drugs. What's up with that? Maybe just a different time, right? Different time, different game. But what they all have in common, they all took LSD. Da, 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 Do you also sometimes have the feeling of when you draw detail, it has like a juicy feeling. Sometimes I have the feeling I can taste the details I'm drawing. Like there's a taste to it. Anyone have seen Windbreaker? I really like this anime. It's really cool. I was just watching the first episode by accident. I mean, not accident. I didn't fell on the remote control, but I just tried it, and it's actually pretty cool. I really like it. Pretty dope. Dope. Okay. Wow, almost tangible with the sword, eh? Like it's a really tight game here. Icon, night fever. Drugs, yeah. Fever, night fever. Have you seen Ran by Akira Kurosawa? Ran? No. What is it about? Okay, I will write it down. Ran. Thank you. I will check it out. Hey, Immortal Vampiro. Love goes back from Germany to Italy. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for following and supporting. Bum, 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 bum. Ah, ich habe schon wieder einen Strafzettel gekriegt. Scheiße. Sorry. I got a wrong parking ticket. It's kind of like completely distracted me. Oh, fuck. Hey, John! How's it going? How are you doing? We haven't talked for a long, long time. I hope you're doing good. Much love going over there. I hope you're doing well. And thank you. Thank you so much. All particle effects. Oh, nice. Yeah, I will definitely check it out, Frozzy. Thank you so much. I wrote it down. It's on my list. It's on my list. So at this point, this top corner becomes a test. Like drawing it on easel is definitely was a good decision, but there are certain areas which just make me sweat. No joke. Doing well, super busy with family, kids. Situation work. Yeah, I mean, yeah, family, kids is probably a biggie, right? That's something I still haven't had in the move yet, but I definitely respect and understand that because my sister has four kids, and I'm a 8-time uncle, 9-time uncle, so kids are a lot of work. And yeah, work. I mean, you probably always work, right? So I hope Brainstorm is also going well. I've seen you guys have more. You have much more offers now, right? Um, I don't remember when did I did the class with Norris. I think this is already 4 or 5 years ago. But so it's so awesome that you guys are still doing that. Thank you, Frozzy. Thank you so much. The pen I use, it's called it's a brush pen. Wait, maybe I have it unpacked. Here, I have it unpacked here. It's that one. if you type Pentel brush pen, I think you will find that. And the really cool thing, actually, wait, I have to make sure that I don't take the one which exploded with blue. So obviously they have different thickness, right? So they have difference in size, but there are also colored ones, like red and green, and the colors are really cool. I really like the colors. And I also learned for myself that the next big drawing I will do with a real brush. Because the only downside on doing these drawings here with the brush pen is the thickness and the heaviness of it. Over time, the hand starts to cramp. I think last time when I drew like 4 hours straight on this, my hand really starts to cramp at sometimes. So I really like to use or would like to use the brush instead with pure ink, and maybe also do some with color and values would be also nice. Hey, yeah, that's what happened to me when I went to THU. The blue one exploded in my bag. So definitely be careful with your brush pens, folks. They should do it on this travel list at the plane. When they ask you, do you have an AK-47 with you? And you say no, then the next question should be, do you have a brush pen with you? Yes, why? Yeah, he actually used it because of the speed benefit you have with it. Because when he did the live drawings, time was always limited, and that's why he started using them. Because you can do you can cover a lot of space and do a lot with indication. So it's very beneficial. Okay, how do I do the sort? How do I do the sort? You know what? Let me do the torso first. What do you do when you feel your focus drift while working on drawing, especially when you reach a point where you are not sure of the next step? I take a break, I would say. Especially when you feel focus is drifting, you should take a break. And also when you work on something longer than a few days, which is not production work, then and it requires also repetition and just a longer time of focus, I would highly recommend to take breaks. I actually like to take a nap, to be honest. So I'm basically sleeping all day. No, but I would definitely say taking breaks is important. Getting away from it, because I also realized my eyes get tired at some point. Also, when I have a softbox here behind me, so this aggressive light in my room is not normal. It's the softbox behind me, and somehow this makes my eyes really tired. It's also different from looking at the screen. Like when when you work in production, you can sit there 6 hours, 8 hours, and you can stare at the screen, no problem. I mean, if you play video games, you can technically stare 10 hours at a screen, right? And I have kind of like thinking about it every time when I talk about this, I think about the moment when I played StarCraft 2 very extensively, and I played it on a day like 12 hours straight. And I came out of my room and I was super tired, and my mother was like, "Why are you tired? You played games all day." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's also very exhausting." So, hey Leonard, how's it going? How are you doing? Love your work and mindset. Remember your comment on Instagram because you recognized me for Crimson Daggers. Hey, yo, yes, hey, that was so freaking funny. That was so freaking funny. I remembered that because of it was your childhood. Was it your childhood image or something? Um, I don't know. It's my weird brain. I don't know how I remembered it, but immediately I had like Crimson Daggers in my head. For the people who don't know what we're talking about, Crimson Daggers was a very old sketchbook forum, and I was randomly, basically, it was in the evening. I was just scrolling through my feed, and then somehow they popped a photo of Leonard, and then yeah, and I was like, dude, I know this from Crimson Daggers. I know this guy, and I actually went after I sent you the text under your image. I went back on the forum and I looked through it. Really good memories. Yeah, for the people who don't know, like Crimson Daggers was basically the Instagram back in the days. For the people who would hustle really hard, was great because you would kind of like motivate each other and stuff. It was really awesome. Leonard, are you still doing art? You still do, right? Nice. Nice. Hey Gene, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to stream. Appreciate you and your existence. Hey Muri, yes, have a good one. Let's talk soon, buddy. Let me know when you're available so we can have a call or something. Have a good sleep. Kisses to the kids. They probably sleep already, I guess. But have a good one. Oh, I mean, first of all, I'm sorry to hear that, Leonard. What type of work do you do? What in specific, what area? Basic fantasy illustration and concept art. Okay. Have you done freelance before, or did you work in a studio? But I guess when you say it like this, it sounds like freelance, right? I feel like I need that Feng Zhu type of design skill, hard to reach, maintain at the moment. Well, I mean, hmm, it's tough topic, right? So maybe it's a great opportunity to level up the skill, right? Just take it as an opportunity to level up if you realize there's something missing. But I think what you should focus on is really the thing you want to do. So if it's still fantasy illustration and sci-fi, maybe there's also a different way of leveling that up, because I mean, design is design and illustration is illustration, as you already know. So I don't know if you really want to do design. I mean, definitely, like good design is definitely needed, and I think it's never bad to learn in a different field. But I wouldn't kind of like go with an impulse there. I would kind of like try to go with the feeling of what is it that I really want to do. But I think in general, for a lot of people who would live and work from freelance, the industry itself at the moment is a bit tricky. You would love to do illustrations for Magic. Well, then do illustrations for Magic, though. Design feels overwhelming. Actually, design is actually not that hard. It's just the way how you approach it. It's just a matter of how you approach it, how you digest information. Because also the design itself, like doing designs on a paper, of course it requires, and that's why it's so tough, it requires a lot of thinking and requires a lot of brain power. And that's something that you cannot do for 8 hours straight, right? We all know when we paint something, we can kind of like zone out and paint for I don't know, 6 hours, and that's kind of like meditation almost. But when you do design, you have to think constantly. So first of all, it's like a muscle you have to train first, and then also designing what is it that you want to design and how do you design that and how do you make a good design. I think these are like all these things that you have to the basic core fundamentals you have to really learn in the beginning and get them in. And if you feel you're not there, maybe just do a course or something. I don't know how your financial capacities are, Leonard, but maybe it's just an opportunity to get better with the things you might want to improve. You know, there are many good courses out there. Maybe also, I mean, these days mentorship is also a thing. I don't say like you have to, but it's definitely also a faster way of learning. If I would have to learn today, I would do that. So you freelance on Fiverr? Wow, okay. Well, I guess that's one of the problems, I would say, because Fiverr, I don't know how legit are Fiverr gigs, and also how do they pay enough? Isn't it then more? Isn't it better to build a portfolio, like a proper portfolio, and then trying to reach out to companies or something? But also, don't get me wrong, I have no big experience with Fiverr or anything. You did a mentorship with Steve Wang. Oh, that's nice. How was it? Great experience. Awesome. Have you seen Log Horizon? What is Log Horizon? Log Horizon? Probably not if I don't know it from your saying. By the way, while we talk about design, we still have 2 slots in summer class open. Summer class starts on Saturday, so if anyone is interested, um, it's going to be fire because we have individual phase and we have group lessons, group projects. It's going to be really cool. So it's basically just working together on your portfolio with others, having fun over the summer, making cool stuff. And we also actually, now that we talk about that, we're going to talk and learn a lot about design. I will also teach my way of making a portfolio project from start to finish. So there's a lot of stuff happening. And if you are a student, you also get a €100 discount. So all you need to do is send a photo of your student ID to my email. But class already starts on Saturday, so very soon. Yeah, I can imagine if a lot of people offer their skills. It's an anime. LOG. Man, so many recommendations today. LOG Horizon. I haven't. I will watch it. If you say so. Give me more. Give me more. Give me that good stuff. Dun, 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 dun. How would you reach out to companies? I feel like an annoying salesperson writing emails to companies. Well, I mean, it's kind of like part of the game, right? Like sending out emails. I have a good tip for you. Postcards is a good thing. Take your artwork, print it on a postcard, send it to an art director, and make a QR code on the backside with your portfolio to scan. So the art director scans the QR code and goes directly on your website. It's a cool way. It does not necessarily need to work, but it's definitely cool. Sure, yeah. If you have more questions or anything, you know where to find me, Leonard. You have the art book. I love it. All right. Hey, I will check it out, Bonsai. Thank you so much. Yeah, but you know, Leonard, the thing is also there's so many companies who do, there's so many mobile game productions. If it's really about just getting work and making money, you know, there's so many mobile productions who need good artists or need support. So they are looking for people. Obviously, they also get a lot of requests, but um, sometimes it's just it's the nail on the head, you know. But for this, you have to reach out. Like opportunities you create by yourself, you know, through action. So, and yeah, I mean, feeling like a annoyed salesperson, that's like, I mean, you don't need to sell. I mean, you sell yourself, that's true, but like how should they find you? Like, right? How should they find you? Going on the internet and looking for artists, how high is the chance they're going to find you? So, and they technically don't need to go because probably they get so many messages. Anyways, bring it back. Bring it back. But there are many ways to, you know, and also you have to go out into the world and have to communicate to people, hey, I'm available for work. I am this guy. I do this and this and that. People forget this. This is absolutely important. Like my mother would say, it's kind of like the energy you send into the universe. But at some point, she is right, because how does the universe know that you exist? Like the universe as a metaphor to the industry, right? So you just have to go out there and communicate. That's really important. And for the most people, like your skill, what you can do is important to a certain degree, but also that you're a cool person, because people work with people and they don't want to work with people who don't know how to treat other people well. So that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in production, you know. So hard skills are good, but soft skills are really important. That you communicate if there's anything wrong, if you need help, or if there's anything in production, you need to communicate. Communication is the number one thing. Um, and even if you're late on something, you can just communicate. Like so many things, you know. I'm a bit of an overthinker or people pleaser. I probably just need to reach out and feel less weird. Yeah, just reach out, but strategically, Leonard. Strategically, do not do. I mean, you probably know this. I'm just saying it just for there's there's a fly. You probably know this already, but make a purpose application, right? So don't apply with your, what was it, concept art paintings. Don't apply just with a, like, just random work. And make new projects. I think making projects is really important. Like constantly new projects, which getting better and better, and um, kind of like expanding the quality you offer. Because the better your quality gets, no matter what there is out there, the more chance you have to get work. And also the interesting thing is about being on time with your things. Once I got a job where I just came from movie gig and I just made something in a certain style, and I applied with something completely different. I made a test, got into the test, and then they actually liked the stuff I did on a movie gig. So it just was kind of like in hand, you know. But these opportunities, they just come if you create them. Yeah. There's actually written Faruk. Lol. I just realized that. Da, 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 da. It's late, it's night. Hey folks, what are you doing? Chat is so quiet. I mean, I respect if you folks work. That's good. Don't get distracted by me. I'm not here. Shut up, Paul. What are you doing? Leave me alone. Don't stress me. I was just thinking about our meeting tomorrow. The stress. Hey, the stress this message just made in my body. I just started to sweat when I read this. But yeah, that's the goal. I will do the rest tomorrow, basically. You had food coma? Nice. What did you had? Like what food? Um, what are your thoughts on AI art, especially in the pre-production game design business? I'm sure you've been asked this many times. No problem, you can ask again. Risse hatte er. Uiuiui. So from my previous company, they couldn't they couldn't use they couldn't use it, and it's obvious because of copyright, right? So it makes things much more complicated and difficult. Um, do I find it interesting at some point? Yes, especially when it comes to world building. So if you have something that is so abstract and random, but you could use it to inspire maybe a design or a philosophy for a project or something, that is, I find that I'm curious, I find it interesting. But obviously, I don't want to kind of like take advantage of any other art of someone else, um, which I don't know. It depends on what they type in there prompt wise. But even if so, like everything that created in this world is kind of like based on something. So it's just a different way of interpretation in that case. But production wise, again, I find it difficult because at the end, I mean, also, first of all, the first point is that people at the end decide what will be made into the product, right? So that's what we have art directors for, and that's what we have creative directors for, and people who have a vision and people who are kind of like compelling things together. So that's really important. It's important that our industry do not go into a direction where kind of like just the most unartistic people do any decisions and kind of like. But at the end, I think they're going to feel the feedback if they would do that. So and then people who are caring about numbers more than like visual creative outcome, um, then yeah, then that's just a setback. But my biggest problem is that AI, at the end, a lot of these AI images, they all look the same. And I don't think we need any tool, I don't think we need especially a tool that maintains a consistent look for things, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So if we have a tool that makes all the future movies look the same, that would be freaking fucking boring, excuse my language, to go to a movie, right? Why would I want that? Same for games, right? If they would have, and that's the thing, if you go on Pinterest, you see there are tons of AI images, but you see the AI images. We see that's AI. So it's actually not interesting. It's just not interesting. Not interesting for artists, of course. For non-artists, I mean, they maybe can be. I mean, a non-artist, which is majority of the product consumer, unfortunately, um, maybe do not care so much. But I think it also depends on what do you do with it, what's the quality, what's the niche. Like, yeah. So first of all, I think they should not use image making AI for production in that case. If they would use it for creating certain particle effects in animation, if they would use it for certain anything that is really maybe for even if it would be for textures, because I think AI is really good with distributing noise, you know. So for things like that, things which are meticulous and people don't want to do and shouldn't do, which feels like donkey work, you know, that would be fine. But the real creative essence of it shouldn't be done by AI. Do you know where? Excuse me. Do you know where I can find good samurai reference images? I just googled stuff. I just googled stuff. So Google, Pinterest. Hello, good morning, sweet cider. Yeah, it's also pretty late here. How are you doing? Yeah, we're celebrating the print store. So that's why stream goes a bit longer today. Also, I need to finish this because this image here got already ordered as a pre-order, and the pre-orders go out on the 15th of June. So I need to finish this painting or drawing. The print store. So we basically made a print store on the ArtZone website. There's a link below the stream, and where you can already buy this as a print, so pre-order, so to speak, or you can also get one of the digital pieces, which turned out really nice in an A3 size at the moment. And if you pre-order, this is by the way in my kitchen. I look at this every morning. I would never thought I would look at my own work that way. And if you pre-order now until the 15th, you also get a personalized A4 size drawing as a thank you gift on top, extra on top. So yeah, that's what we're celebrating today, because it was actually much more work than expected to get this print store out. And also, yeah, testing all the prints. You know what? Hey, I can maybe show you some of the other prints in here which we tested it. Because they look really cool. Just have to unroll them. So that's, for example, that's the Assassin one. Looks also really cool. The quality is really nice. And we actually decided, thank you so much, Cider. We actually decided to, I don't know if some people remember, by the way, this image, we painted that on stream years ago. So all these prints, we are producing them in a way where we focused on quality. So they are actually very expensive to produce, but it was important for me that we focus on the quality, so that whenever someone from the community buys or maybe gift a print to someone else, then this has a good quality. Give me another one. You guys have seen this one. Maybe I can also get out this one. On my freaking carpenter, by the way, you as a YouTube member, you also get a 10% discount code. Because you are a YouTube member. Here, for example. Also, we tested a print poster. So this is freaking huge. This is basically this one. But look at this. The quality is really sick as a print. So yeah, but this is a poster. So at the moment we have A3 size. And the thing is, all these digital paintings, they have a different size, which makes the whole poster initiative a bit tricky. So I'm still kind of like figuring out how I'm going to do that. But yeah, that's all in the planning, all in the making. But it's a freaking huge poster. I do that later, yeah. Have to roll these back in. And here I can show you how it looks actually when you put it in your shelf. I'm sorry if I'm a bit too much, but I'm just so happy that we got this done. So I don't know, can you guys see this? Yes. So you can put this in your shelf here. And it just looks awesome. And a big, huge thanks to my girlfriend really convincing me to do that, because I didn't have so much confidence in showing my artwork, or actually printing my artwork. I should upload speed paintings. Yeah, I think I don't want to overdo it, you know, like step by step. Now I focus on the traditional stuff, and then I actually have some digital paintings which are still, which I haven't touched for a while. I actually haven't painted digital for a while because of business. Oh no, is it empty? Feels like the pen goes empty. What software I use? Photoshop. Photoshop, shop. Okay. I think hitting the 3-hour mark is a good point for ending the stream today, because it's in Germany, it's almost midnight, and I need some sleep. And I actually need some food because I haven't had dinner. That's nice. That's awesome to hear, Cider. Okay, so I told you all about the print store, right? So I'm very happy about it. Summer class, still 2 slots open. Summer class portfolio building starts on Saturday. If any of you want to build their portfolio, in the first 3 weeks we have indie phase. So I show you everything about how to build your own portfolio project, design. We go through everything, and then we have group projects from week 4 on. So that's going to be awesome. And we're going to have a group meeting every Saturday, 9 p.m. CST. So it's basically for even East and West Coast. It's possible there to join. Yeah, Princess Open. We have YouTube channel membership, so the beautiful people with the blue badge on the stream, they are channel members. So I appreciate everyone following and supporting. This biggie here is almost done. If you want it, you can get it as a print already, even though it's not done yet. And yes, otherwise, I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all for coming. And I hope maybe you could have drawn a bit on the side or whatever you do at the moment. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And we will have more streams now uh, since I got everything a bit more organized. Animal figure drawing. Interesting. Animal figure. So basically animals with 2 legs or what? Yeah, appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Keep on drawing. Thank you so much, Cider. And I hope to talk to you soon and to have you again on stream very soon. And the next time we do something else, different drawing. All right. Thank you so much for coming. And yeah, feel free to follow. Otherwise, I wish you an awesome day. Thank you, Leonard. And yeah, I appreciate you all really much. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a good one.